Hey, coming at you a whole different way today. I'm down here. Because I want to be able to share something with you on this live, and I also want to make sure that I speak it clearly for those that are just listening later on and not necessarily seeing this. But today we're going to talk about headlines. Headlines are such an issue for so many people, whether you're writing a sales letter or really a subject line in an email can also be considered a headline. The headline is also on your LinkedIn profile. These are just a few examples, but the whole purpose of a headline is to get someone to read the next line or the next page or open the cover or click open on the email. So you want to capture attention and you want to do it in an effective way, right? So why is this so hard? Well, it seems like we just kind of get in our own way. But first, before we go any further, let me introduce myself. I'm Tina Lorenz. I'm a freelance copywriting mentor, mindset shifter, and transformational business coach and consultant. I help copywriters, entrepreneurs, marketers, and service providers discover their purpose and pathway to clarity so you can consciously create wealth and abundance both in your business and in your life. So today we're talking headlines. I know a thing or two about headlines because I've been online as a freelance copywriter since 2004, writing for big names like Frank Kern and for sometimes unknown but very, very successful entrepreneurs who have multi-million-dollar businesses but prefer to be a little more under the radar. So I've been writing headlines for a long time, and I've been teaching how to write headlines for a long time. And one of the resources that I often share in my courses and in my private Facebook groups is magazines.com, just like it sounds, a magazine with an S on the end. And magazines.com is a site that sells magazines, not too surprising, but you don't have to buy anything to be able to tap into the rich resource you'll find there. Because here's the deal. Magazine companies aren't messing around when it comes to what's on the cover. They need to be able to sell their magazines. They need to be able to get people to open the cover. They need to capture people's interest, whether it's online and you're standing online or you're standing in line at a grocery store looking at how many times have you ever been in a grocery store, at least the way it used to be, right? And pick up magazines that are displayed right next to the check stands, right? And why are they there? Because they know people will do this impulse purchase. Oh, I want that one. Oh, look at that article, and throw them into their basket and add two. It's sort of like an upsell, right? But also many magazines, including, I remember just hearing recently, Oprah's going to be going to all digital. And so they still want it to look like a magazine. They still want it to feel that experience of the shiny cover. I've been a magazine addict since I was a kid. And when I was even a young adult, when they used to arrive in bundles at the grocery store, I knew what day of the week my particular magazines would be delivered or what day of the month. I had manicure scissors that I carried in my purse because I would literally cut the plastic bundle strips that were on there that kept them in a tight cube until someone came to put them out for display. I would literally cut those things open and get my magazine, and never the one on top because I didn't want that indentation from those plastic bands. I wanted my nice, fresh magazine. I still enjoy the feel of holding a magazine in my hands and reading it. And so I'm kind of a magazine fan from way back. I've cut way back, way down on my magazine consumption, but I used to just go out of it with a stack of my favorite magazines. And so maybe not too surprising that I found this resource that I use for teaching headlines. So today we're going to take a quick look at one that you might not ever pick up. This isn't really a My Style magazine. It's called For Women First, and it's very much geared to diets and exercise and goopy recipes for cupcakes and Halloween decorations, things like that. But what I find fascinating about it is just that they really know their market. It's sort of like going to Target, right? That happy place where it's so colorful and it's so engaging and the images just kind of draw you in. So this is just one example amongst probably thousands of magazines on magazines.com. But for the sake of time today, we're just going to look at one. And so we're going to look at For Women First. So here's what I'm talking about with getting headline ideas. And I happen to have the May of 2020. That's the other thing. They show about 5 or 6 months of covers on magazines.com. So you can literally explore and also start to see the similarities of how the covers are laid out. And so not only is this about headlines, this is kind of like a little marketing exploration, a little marketing laboratory, because you will learn a lot about what their particular audience wants to read based on what's on the cover. So it's kind of almost like a demographic, psychographic sort of research institute as well, just to see what the topics are, from men's health to yoga to women's magazines, good housekeeping, prevention magazine, all of these different genres and different niche markets that you can find on magazines.com. So let's just take a quick look here. One of the things I can tell you about this particular magazine, For Women First, it's actually, I guess it's actually called First for Women, but I read it For Women First. Either way, it works, right? All of their magazine covers are going to heavily display a diet, some kind of weight loss thing right in the middle of their cover every single time. And if we have time, I'll show you just how that works. Like here's another one. This one is actually from July of 2020, and the best keto for women over 50. The one I just showed you had keto on it. Let's see if I can get another one. The fat just disappears. News, excess estrogen levels make weight loss impossible for 75% of women over 40. And so every single one starts with this. I can tell you from picking up the magazine and looking at it in the past that every single one, the diet is displayed somewhere around page 20 to 21 or 22 every single time, and usually then followed by a series of recipes for things like gushy casseroles or heavily decorated cakes and things, 4th of July torts that have fruit and whipped cream all over them. Or there's always some just, well, and as you can see even on this one, here's the fruity creamy treat up here in the left-hand corner. And on the right hand, no oven dinner with that doesn't exactly go with the best keto for women over 50. So that's just a whole other thing that's interesting to study because you'll find it consistently. Matter of fact, let's just take a quick look at another one here. Let's just look. Here we go. Memorial Day up here on the left, and on the right we have red, white, and blue cupcakes. And we go to one from November of 2019. We've got like a turkey dinner for Thanksgiving on one side. We've got muffins on the other side. And right in the middle, we got Heal Your Gut, Lose Your Belly with Dr. Ross. So always they do the same format. So again, this is just interesting marketing things to study. But today we're talking headlines. So, get me started on marketing. It might go till another couple hours on that. But let's just take a look. So what I mean is, you can trust what you find on these covers because they're heavily researched, they're tested, they know what works, they know the formulas that work. And what you're going to find on most magazine covers, first of all, a lot of times there is a number. Somewhere in the headline there will be a number because that specificity is also something that makes people, it just engages people. It just engages our brains in a way that it relates very heavily to the person reading it. So right now on this headline, it says the best keto for women over 50. And so there's your number, drop 12 pounds a week and plus no sagging skin. So it's got a couple of benefits. So what if you were in a weight loss market yourself? Now I'm not talking about plagiarizing. I'm talking about taking a general idea and using it, the rhythm, the pacing, what they key in on. So let's just say you were someone that wanted to promote Weight Watchers, right? The best Weight Watcher recipes for women over 50, or the best Weight Watcher recipes for women going through menopause. But that wouldn't have a number. 7 best Weight Watcher recipes for women going through menopause. So you could put a 7 in there. The best, let's just say you're vegan, right? Let's say you're in a vegan market. The best vegan diet for men and women over 50. So you could just take the general idea, change some of the words, turn it into your original headline. Now, here's the great thing. You don't even have to be in this particular niche market to make this work for you. So let's just say that we are looking for something for people who are homeschooling. The best homeschooling strategies for moms with kids under 10. Okay, so there would be your number, or the 7 best homeschooling strategies for moms and dads staying home with their kids. Whatever your thing is, I'm just making these up as I go. But you could just take the general idea and turn it into your market. Let's just say your market was yoga. Now, first of all, there are many yoga magazines on magazines.com, but let's just say you were looking at this, the best yoga moves for women over 40, right? And so you could just take the general idea depending on your market. Now, it has to fit with your market. It has to be in alignment. Maybe you're not marketing to women over 40, right? Maybe you want to learn how to be in the roller derby. The best roller derby moves for beginners over, you don't have to have the age there. You could say the 7 best roller derby moves for newbies, something like that. So you can just take the general idea and turn it into a headline, okay? So let's take a look at one of these other ones, like this one right here, Hello Happy. Kate Walsh, 52 on, whoops, there we go, I'm going to lose that, for overcoming stress, self-doubt, and hot flashes. And so something about this kind of a theme could work really well right now where people are overstressed, people are there's more incidents of depression. There's more difficulties for women who have just had their babies and during a pandemic. There's lots of different themes that people are looking for headlines for right now. So, hello, peace of mind. 3 ways to overcome stress, anxiety, and fear. Something like that. So obviously you wouldn't have Kate Walsh as your spokesperson, unless you're very, very fortunate, but you could take the general idea and turn that into a headline. Let's look over here. Bye bye tired. A body temperature glitch is draining women over 40. Summer heat triples the risk. Easy sock trick fix. That's quite a headline, right? There's got a lot of things going on, but it could be, let's see, bye bye overwhelm. 3 quick tips for calming down and focusing during a pandemic. Okay, let's just say it said that. Something like that, where you could take the general idea, and I can't even repeat what I just said because I'm just making these up as I go. But let's just say that you take something like that and turn it into what you need to do. So I hope that you'll take the time to investigate magazines.com, get ideas for your email subject lines, get ideas for your headlines. This is just one magazine amongst thousands, and for the sake of time, I'm not moving around to different screens and all of that, but let's just try one more before we go. Let's go for, no more tired and achy. Stuck fascia tissues triggers energy drain and joints. You see how it's very, very similar to the one we just looked at? You're going to see similarities between the issues of where they position the headlines and what theme they followed. And both of these sound very similar. Let's just see if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try. Yeah, so this and these 2 headlines in the upper, lower, and I just want to get fancy here just so I can see if I can do this. Now it looks like a pair of glasses, so let's give it a nose and a mouth. Okay. But the headline here, no more achy, tired and achy, and then stress cures, is very similar to what we just looked at, right? And so if you go between the magazine covers, you're going to see similarities. And again, this tells you that it works. And so when you see it being used more than once, think about, how can I turn this into my headline? How can I take this idea and just shift it into my original thought, my original concept, my original niche market, which might be different than the one they're writing to, but it still can work for you. And that's the beauty of it. And again, we've got Dr. Oz's Easy RX, heal your gut, lose your belly, heal your heartbreak, lose your sadness, heal your relationship, lose your arguments. I mean, you could go back and forth like this with something that's in a completely different niche market, take the general idea, make it your own with a brand new headline. Again, no plagiarizing, no stealing, stay in alignment, stay in authenticity, stay in integrity, but use magazines.com as a great resource for how you can write a killer headline. This is Tina Lorenz. Until next time, I'll talk to you again soon.